What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel for another weekly fragrance wrap-up. I am a little bit behind because I've just been so busy. So we're on the week of June 17th to the 23rd, and it has just been a really long day, extremely busy time of year for me. So if you don't mind, I'm going to go ahead and enjoy a little bit of Bunnahabhain 18, which can be a little bit difficult to find in certain markets now. And if you can find it, some people price it up to $250 to $300. I'm thankful I bought this bottle when I did for $130, I believe it was. So it just depends on your area, where you live in your market. But unfortunately, that whiskey is becoming much more expensive. Very much in common with a lot of the fragrances we love to buy. Prices of everything just keeps going up and up and up. It's crazy. So we're going to start with Monday. Now, if you notice Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, there's a very specific reason that I chose these fragrances. I knew my new fragrance that I ordered, which is Roja Parfum Oud, just the regular oud. I tried the amber oud and a couple others from him. They were all fantastic, but this was the most quintessential, like Middle Eastern oud style, which I was looking for. So before this came in, I actually wanted to wear two other rose and oud based fragrances. So I started with the Xerjoff Alexander II, Alexander II, however you want to say it. Really, really clean, slightly powdery, lots of rose and wood in here as well. You can definitely smell the oud, but you also get like a powdered, creamy type of apple smell underneath all that rose and oud and wood. I think there's a little bit of lavender in here too. Maybe that gives it a little bit of that kind of powdery freshness, a little bit of floral notes in there. Wonderful fragrance, extremely good longevity and projection. Absolutely fantastic. And it was cool to kind of go through all these because they are all rose and oud fragrances, but they're all completely different. So Tuesday, again, the day before I knew that my Roja Parfum Oud fragrance was coming in, I chose Blue Sapphire from Boadicea the Victorious on Tuesday. Main reason for that, hot day out. I wanted to continue with the rose and oud theme until the Roja Parfum came along. Guys, I just can't say enough good things about this one. I know this is not a new fragrance. It's already been reviewed by quite a few people in terms of what has been reviewed by the House of Boadicea the Victorious. And there's probably a reason for that. It's absolutely stunning. A little bit of that candied orange lemon note to the top notes. Definitely pretty heavy on the rose and some other florals. But for me, where this fragrance shines the most, as good as the opening and as much as I love the opening, the dry down is really just an oud and patchouli masterpiece. Absolutely stunning stuff. Very good compliment kind of fragrance, to where it's unique. It's got a very friendly DNA. It's not too off-putting. Something that's definitely going to get you compliments while still remaining a unique fragrance. So definitely one of my favorites for that category. Which, even though these are all rose and oud fragrances, completely different. And this one, guys, it's just so bright and acidic up top. A lot of citrus and rose notes, very sharp. But I noticed on skin that goes away after about an hour or two, and you're really just left with a beautiful oud, leather, and ambergris base, which is pretty much the whole reason I bought it. You get a little bit of rhubarb in there and some other notes to kind of transition between the top and those heavy, dense base notes. I mean, look at this fragrance, guys. You can't even see through this. No way will light ever make it through this fragrance bottle. Extremely dark. I think the darkest fragrance I had before this was probably Adonis from Argos. It became like a brownish purple color. This is a lot darker than that even. And longevity, projection, everything on this is absolutely fantastic. Just really beautiful and just kind of a quintessential Middle Eastern rose and oud fragrance. Even though these are all, again, they're all based around the notes of rose and oud. 3 different examples of how that fragrance kind of formulation can be used differently. And these have all done a great job of it. So after those 3 days of heavy rose and oud fragrances, I needed a little bit of change up. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and on Thursday, I chose Hamptons from Bond number 9. Probably one of my most complimented from this entire lineup of the week. So people can hate Bond 9 as much as they want, but the projection, longevity, how natural this smells very floral. It's got some lime blossom, got a lot of wood notes in there. The best way I can describe this fragrance is like fresh rain hitting hot pavement on the beach. I just don't know how else to describe it other than that. It smells slightly maritime, slightly floral, but really what this fragrance is and what it reminds me of is just fresh rain hitting a hot pavement right next to the beach. You got the breeze, slight marine smell, a little bit of florals. Just absolutely great stuff from the House of Bond number 9. Some people don't like it. I personally love it. So Friday, Pearl Moon from the House of Bodicea the Victorious. Just an interesting fragrance. Saffron, pineapple. I pretty much blind bought this just on the notes alone. Like everything in this fragrance, as soon as I saw the fragrance notes, top, middle, and base, I knew I just had to have it. It's got oud, patchouli, some strong florals in there. You definitely get the pineapple and the saffron up top. Very, very deep, complex fragrance. Changes a lot between the opening and the dry down, which is one of my favorite parts about it. I just absolutely love Bodicea the Victorious Pearl Moon. And if you really enjoy pineapple, oud, and saffron fragrances with that kind of sweet spice and that really grounded note, I think Pearl Moon would be at least worth a try from a sample or a decant. It's really just hard to say if I ever have a favorite from the House of Bodicea because there's so many good ones that I've tried, especially from the Sapphire collection, even Alcif, Pearl Moon, Dasman. There's just so many good ones, but man, this one is it's just tough to beat. It's very unique, very dense, great projection, longevity, development, just everything you would expect for a fragrance that expensive from a house like Bodicea the Victorious. So cheers, guys. Great whiskey. Bunnahabhain 18 is a very interesting whiskey, very salty, very maritime. Interesting how you can kind of compare whiskey to fragrances in terms of how they develop, how they smell, and sometimes even the price. Whiskey can actually get a lot more expensive than fragrances compared depending on what you're buying. So now on Saturday, Adonis Awakens. Felt like wearing a rose fragrance, something that was going to stick around. Obviously we had the rose and oud earlier in the week, but this is a lot different. It's rose, chestnut, raspberry, vanilla, and really what this fragrance is about is sandalwood and rose. And there's a lot more to it than that, but that's really what the fragrance is kind of based around, is rose and sandalwood. In fact, it has rose and rose absolute. So if you don't like rose, I don't think this is the fragrance for you because it sticks around from the opening all the way to the dry down. Absolutely stunning stuff if you are a fan of rose. Again, it's hard to say what my favorite fragrance is from Argos, but Adonis Awakens is definitely one of them. Especially this time of year, obviously it's strong enough to where you can wear in the winter time or cooler weather. But I feel during summertime, it really kind of just comes alive. You know, it really comes off your skin. The rose note smells great. It always smells fresh, clean, and sweet, slightly floral. Just absolutely beautiful stuff. Definitely one of their longest lasting fragrances. I mean, all their fragrances to me last a long time. They have the Triumph of Bacchus Extrait as well. But this one is just absolutely, it sticks around. It's one of those things to where when you put it on, you almost have to plan your fragrance for the next day to go around this, because even if you spray it on skin 24 hours later and take a shower, I still smell it. Even if I do 2 or 3 sprays just on my forearm, you know, I can still smell that after showering. So very great job by Argos. Wonderful fragrance. Again, if you like rose, you got to try this if you haven't already. Last day, Sunday, was going to a pool party. I think that's the day I went to a pool party. Maybe not. I got my weeks mixed up. I think I did though. And yeah, Akdeniz, man. Akdeniz was really, really good. And it's one of my favorites for that type of style, like the marine blue kind of fragrances. This one's slightly unique because it's got leather and thyme in there as well. And much like a lot of these fragrances on here, man, there's nothing on here that I wish lasted longer. But Akdeniz, you really just got to be careful when you spray it and where you spray it, because you're pretty much stuck with it for 24 to 36 hours. So if you don't like it, that's actually one of the main complaints I've heard, that Akdeniz is just too strong. And, you know, I'm sorry to kind of bring this to attention, but I don't know why anybody would buy an extrait parfum and then complain about it lasting too long. That's kind of the point of them. That'd be like buying a cast strength whiskey and saying it's too strong. You know, just, sure. So if it's too strong, just spray less of it. That's my advice to anybody who may be on the fence about buying it or that may already own it and just think it's too strong. Just spray a little bit less of it. But strong? Absolutely. I always joke around, I say Akdeniz, it never really leaves you, it just becomes a part of you. And if you spray this on clothing, I've had clothing smell like this, you know, a month or two later. And that's just kind of what a lot of the Unique and Luxury lineup is like, because they're all 35% and done at an X-straight concentration. So for me, one of the best values for any house as well, when you look at the percentage, how their fragrances smell, the compliments, the feedback, the ingredients they use, the packaging, the customer service, the oil concentration. Unique and Luxury is definitely one of the tops in terms of what you get for the value. And Akdeniz, I have, I think, 7 full bottles from them, along with every sample of every single thing in their lineup. So I have tried everything that Unique and Luxury has made, and definitely Akdeniz is one of my favorites. They also have a couple other good fragrances that could be slightly in the same category, but they are different, like Ismir, and then Barrel, which is really green and herbal. But those could all kind of go in the same category as Akdeniz, with this definitely being the most marine of all of them, and Ismir more being kind of like a classic blue fragrance, more closer to like a, say like a Chanel blue or something like that. So guys, weekly fragrance wrap up, this is it right here. So you got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I'll leave all the fragrances and the days that I wore them in the description for you guys, so you can see for yourselves and kind of break it down. But yeah, that's all I got for you today. Extremely busy time of year. Again, I'm trying to upload as much as I can, 2 to 3 times a week if I'm able, but I'm not always able to do it like that. So appreciate your patience, appreciate you guys sticking with me. I look forward to doing more stuff like this. I do have a couple other videos planned, and I'm also going to be doing some more individual reviews of some newer fragrances I got in, such as Roja Aoud, and a couple other ones that you guys will see. Again, I left a hint in my last video to where some of the newer stuff I'm buying is not really new. It's older stuff that you can't really get your hands on anymore, and I think that's going to interest a lot of people. So appreciate you guys. I hope you have a great rest of your week and enjoy time with your family. If you've spent it through 4th of July and you're still off on holiday, I know some people take the whole week off after 4th of July and just make it like a week and a half to 2 week vacation. Personally, I don't have time for that, and I need to make more money so I can buy more fragrances for you guys. So cheers, and I hope to see you guys soon. Bye.